little bit, and I want to bless everybody for coming up. And in Judaism, we believe very much in you have to work hard, but more than working hard, you have to work smart. And we want to bless everybody that today you should work very smart. You should make some good deals, Be'ezrat Hashem, and it should be you should see the manifestation of Hashem's Siyata Dishmaya. Says the Rabbi, there's one dangerous thing, character flaw, that could remove a person from his track in life. It distances him from his track. You're sitting in a lane, and it gets you out of your lane. What is this character flaw? He says it's called Kin'ah and Hamda. Kin'ah and Hamda, envy and lust. Mekalkelot ba'adam. They ruin a person. This is what King Solomon, the wisest of all men, has said, that your heart should not be jealous and envious of sinners. Ki'im beirat Hashem kol hayom. Why? He says, you look at these sinners, you see their oshram, their hatzlachatam, you see how much money they're making, they're all over Instagram and TikTok and everything else. Their hatzlacha, their quality of life, he just went to Bahamas, he just went to I don't know where. And you see sometimes a tzaddik, could be your neighbor, mitdaldelim u mityasrim, has a difficult life, barely makes parnasah, he doesn't have it good. You look on the right, you see the tzaddik, difficult. You look on the left, Levi Luzi, wow, everything's good. Where were you? Oh, last week I was in Dubai. Where were you 2 weeks ago? I'm going to Bahamas. Where are you going in 3 weeks? All his life is a kaif. All his life is kaif for him. Okay? So the idea is that when you see that, it becomes very difficult to stay in your lane. In olam hazeh, k'she'adam mekaneh b'chot'im v'ro'eh oshram ve'atzlachatam, and he sees tzaddikim mitdaldelim v'tok kach tig'al nafsho b'irat ha'elohim. He says, what is it worth? Why should I be a tzaddik? Не выгодно быть tzaddikim. Не выгодно быть праведным. Не выгодно приходить в синагогу. Лучше людей кидать целый день. И так выгодно. That's how people think. And you have to know that a person sometimes says, Shab avod Elohim, that it's not worth it, chas v'shalom, to be a Torah Jew. Uma be'etzah, ki shamarnu mitzvotav. What profit did we gain from mishmarto, from guarding Hashem's mitzvot? Chi'alachnu kedoranit mipnei Hashem tzevaot. We walked submissively mipnei Hashem in front of God. Ve'ata, you have to know something. Anachnu me'ashrim zedim. By talking like this, you're giving chizuk to the wicked people. You want to know something? What excites us in our life? You could be a person in synagogue every single day. I could be in a synagogue every day. But every time the guy gets a new Rolex, he says, wow, psh, wow, psh, right? I tell my son, so Mr. Sofiev here, he learns the Mishnah every day. I say it in a very takoi, chalotni way. But then I speak about Rafi's Rolex. Wow, unbelievable. Did you ever, right? So that is all, but you gotta know, it's important to learn Torah. So what I said was, it's important to learn Torah. But how I said it, what message did I deliver? I'm inspired by what? By the Rolex on Rafi's head. Ken Rafi, he doesn't wear a watch, I don't think.
The other Rafi.
Go like this. Go like this.
Okay.
Go like this. No? Wow. Unbelievable. Tov, it's in his... Oh, there is a watch. I knew it. Nice. Okay, I honestly used you because I thought you don't wear a watch.
I don't wear a watch, I have to put it away.
Now I'm going to use Khaimov as an example. Tov. So he says that a person, when he's excited over other people's success, you're causing problems, you're causing a chanuki, a coldness in your own heart. And you have to know, you want to live like they live in the Bahamas, kaif. So you throw off yourself the burden of the mitzvot. He says, to eat kasher, you can't go here, you can't go. It's easier to live like a goy. It's easier to live like a goy. Okay, and therefore, person chas v'shalom has a difficult time. True righteous people, they don't have jealousy of wicked people. They don't have a desire, not in their money, and not in their peace and tranquility. You went to the Bahamas? Go again. I'm kidding. He doesn't have envy of the guy. He says, let me ask you a question. This guy doesn't keep Torah. He doesn't keep Shabbat, doesn't keep mitzvot. He doesn't give a dawah to tzedakah, the guy. He's so successful. You have to get happy. Why? If a guy like this is successful, imagine what God has in store for me. If this Ladeh has so much coming to him, and he doesn't keep anything, imagine how much I have coming to me, Avi. How much happiness I give to Hashem Yitbarach, and Hashem is never remains in debt. He always pays his debt. Yismach birot shalvat harisha'im. When you see the happiness of the wicked people, you have to get happy. Why? If this wicked person is so happy, has such a good life, then how much more so me, I'm going to have a good life. Now you have to know, there's a mashal. There was a man, he went to a party at his friend's house, and he got a headache in the festivities. He had a headache. And so he asks the host, do you have any aspirin? He was directed to the bathroom, the washroom. He walks inside the washroom and he sees a cabinet from the floor all the way to the ceiling. He says, wow, what a cabinet. He opens up one cabinet, wow, full. Opens up the next cabinet, opens up a third cabinet. He comes back downstairs. He tells the host, he says, wow, you're such a lucky guy. I never saw such a thing, that the whole, from floor to ceiling, full of cabinets in someone's bathroom. And the owner of the house says, no, you got it all wrong. You're making a mistake. Why? He says, in your house, you have a little cabinet. You have only a toothbrush over there and a little aspirin. He says, why? Because you don't have any problems. Me, he says, I have high blood pressure. I have diabetes. I have this and I have that. And I need to inject myself. And I have all these other issues. That's why my cabinet, my medicine cabinet is huge. Nothing to be jealous of. Ken, how lucky am I? Retorted the host. How lucky are you? I have a heart condition, high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney problems, many other medical issues. I am therefore in great need and dependent on all those medications for my health. Fortunate are you who have good health. Yeah, and you have no need for more than just a few items. I tell you, Rabotai, if you study this mashal deeper, you'll see how true this point is. In my home, I have a little room. Yeah, maybe 8 feet by I don't know how many feet. Tiny, small room. Okay? I tell you, when all of us would walk inside it, okay, it's a walk, not even a walk-in closet. It's half a walk-in closet. But when we would walk in as a family, sometimes I would go inside, my kids would come inside, and we were all in that room for whatever reason. Not planned, it just would turn out that way. The greatest shalva, the greatest tranquility you could ever imagine was in that room. Why? It's small, everybody's close, nobody's fighting, everything's good. Okay? You don't need anything in life. You don't need so much in life. The little things that we fail to appreciate, and we're busy looking at all the flash and all the grammar and all the logos on the guy, when really we have so much to be grateful for. So the idea is that hakina, is that jealousy needs to be worked on, and it comes from a lowliness of soul, that a person who's broad of consciousness, he's never jealous of anybody, he's happy with himself. He realizes, look at how much Hashem has blessed me with, and you have to know that we must work on it. Why? Not to judge Hashem. You see the guy, the successful, the off the derech guy, and then you see the guy on the derech is having a difficult time. Don't rush to judge so fast. Realize Hashem has a calculation, Hashem has a plan, and more than that, realize that if Hashem rewards the wicked people with such beracha, how much more so Hashem will reward the righteous people with beracha ve'atzlacha. We are today in the laws of Megillah. I can just get a napkin. So, Arba Parashiyot we spoke about. Rabotai, this week we're going to have Parashat Shekalim. Parashat Shekalim, it's a mitzvah midrabanan to be in a Bet Knesset, the Shabbat Kodesh, for Aliyoi Maftir, Ochin Vajda with synagogue, to read Shabbat, to listen to the reading of Shekalim. No. Shekalim is about how we gave half a shekel to Bet HaMikdash, to the Mishkan, to the Bedek HaBayit. Why would we give half a shekel? In times of Bet HaMikdash, every year had its own budget. Every year had its own budget. They would do one fundraiser for Korbanot for the whole year. When would they do this fundraiser? In the month of Adar. From the month of Adar to the month of Nisan, 30 days, collection days. They would knock on your door. What? Half a shekel, half a shekel. Everybody had to give half a shekel. How much is it? Close, $7, $8. Not a lot.
No, this is one coin, right?
It's 9 grams of pure silver. Silver today, it's about 76 cents to the gram. From when I checked. It's about 76, 77 cents on the gram. You multiply that by 9, you're going to get about $7. About plus or minus a few cents, about 7. You want to give 10? Even better. To be that as it may, that's this week's parashat. Parashat Shekalim. Next week.
It says the poor and the rich give the same. Don't give more, don't give less.
Fair. That's only for half a shekel. It's not talking about tzedakah. Half a shekel is not maaser and it's not tzedakah. It's a separate bank account, Rafi. Ta'anit Esther this year is going to be preceded. Usually Ta'anit Esther is prior to Purim the day before. V'etem gadu, the day before Purim, Shabbat. You cannot fast on Shabbat. And therefore, Ta'anit Esther is going to be Thursday. From the morning until about 25 minutes after sunset, that's going to be Ta'anit Esther. Hayav Adam likrot ha-Megillah balayla v'lachazor lishnota bayom. There is an obligation on every person to read Megillah at night and to repeat it again in the daytime. When is at night? From when the stars come out. This year, it's Motzei Shabbat. So it's going to be a little later. I'm assuming, I don't know the exact schedule yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be about 8 o'clock at night. Why? Because Shabbat's going to come out probably 7:45 or something like that. And we need to give you 10-15 minutes to drive to Bet Knesset. We're going to be in the synagogue already from Shabbat Kodesh, but some people who are not in the synagogue, they're going to come to listen to Megillah, and therefore that's going to be at about 8 o'clock. We're going to have a second. You should bring your Megillah Friday, and if not, you'll run home and wait for Shabbat to be over and come with it. But be that as it may, there's going to be a second reading at about 9 o'clock. We're going to have a second reading for ladies and people who are not able to come. In the morning, we're going to have a 6 o'clock minyan, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock minyan, and then we're going to have at 11:15 Belined and another Megillah reading for the women and children who are not able to come in the morning. But a person must read Megillah at night. It usually takes about 30, 35, 40 minutes. Depends who reads. I say, if you read it in 20 minutes, don't read it. Ken? I say, if you read it in 25 minutes, don't read it. And don't read for other people. Ken? I love it. You come inside sometimes and you listen to people read Megillah. You gotta be careful. If you don't hear every word, leave.
Or if you get lost. I'm saying you hear every word, but you're getting lost. They keep saying you too fast.
I once walked into a synagogue, Ken, somebody was reading Megillah, Ken, and I'm listening, and they're reading like to themselves. Half the words they're saying, half the words they're mumbling. If you can't hear the word enunciated clearly, you're not listening to Megillah. One time, I told you the story, I was once in Tov Shul. I used to stay up back in the day when I was stronger. Purim night, we used to stay up. Avi, you were alive then? Probably. But we used to stay up all night, and then we used to go daven nets, Purim. Said it. One day I come to Tov to daven nets. There was a funny guy over there, a 55-year-old male. Every time they would say Haman, he was probably up all night also. So he was making these funny barking sounds. Unbelievable. We were dying of laughter. Unbelievable. Ken, in the middle of the reading, every time Haman, a grown man, a father of like 5 kids, grandfather, respected member in society, screaming, we're dying of laughter, Ken. But in the end, it was disturbing. I couldn't hear the Megillah. Ken? So, Hazak Baruch, I got up and I went to the next minyan. Why? You don't hear every word. If you don't have your own kosher Megillah in front of you, you didn't do the mitzvah. You have to hear every word of the Megillah. Go where they read slow. Not too slow, but slow. It should take them a few minutes to read the Megillah. Vayhi bimei Ahashverosh, hu Ahashverosh. It's not a reading of Megillah. The obligation is at night and again in the day. Why 2 times, Avi? It's a remembrance to the miracle that we cried at night and we cried in the daytime to be rescued. That's what the Mishnah Berurah says. V'shelayla zmana kol halayla. You can read it all night. If Rafi calls me 3 in the morning to read a Megillah, beli neder, I'll read a Megillah. V'shelyom zmana kol hayom. In the daytime, you can read it all day. Me'aletz hama ve'atzof hayom. From sunrise until the end of the day. And if you read it from dawn, yatsa. Now the halakha says, mevatelim talmud Torah lishma mikra Megillah. A person should minimize a little bit his limud Torah in order to hear the Megillah. Minimize your learning to hear the Megillah. Now you're going to say, 1 second. When I read the Megillah, I am learning. Right or wrong? So what does it mean? Minimize your learning to read the Megillah. Say the commentaries, a few answers. One answer, it's ba'in lishma mikra Megillah. That means if you're in a synagogue where you have 30 people, you're in a bet midrash, and there's a synagogue that has 100 people, go to the synagogue that has 100 people. The mitzvah Megillah, bigger crowd. Don't make little minyanim in your house. 7.5 people over there reading Megillah. Make big minyanim in the shul. 100 people, 200 people to read Megillah. That's the right way to do it. That's the right way to do the mitzvah. All other mitzvot are on pause to hear the Megillah. Can you believe it? A mitzvah from the Torah is on pause because of a mitzvah the Rabbanan of hearing the Megillah.
There is not to read it.
Ken. שאין לך דבר שנדחה מקרא מגילה מפניו. Megillah, number 1. Any other mitzvah, number 2. If you have to choose this or that, Megillah goes first, always. Except for one. Chutz, mimet mitzvah. Except for if you have to bury somebody who has nobody to bury him. You found out there was a Jewish man, he passed away, and the Pope has his body. Okay? They don't want to release the body. That's called a met mitzvah. He has no family, nobody's going to take him out. It's a mitzvah for you. Nobody's going to bury that guy. That's a met mitzvah in today's day. You get your friends together, say, Rafi, me and you, a shtuk each, let's get the body, and we bury the guy in a proper Jewish cemetery. That's called a met mitzvah. That overrides the reading of the Megillah. That's the only mitzvah. All the other mitzvot, number 2. Right? Purim goes first. Megillah goes first. And it's a mitzvah b'drabanan. But still it goes first. Except for met mitzvah, she'en lo kovrim, she'apogea bo kovro tchila v'achar kach koreh. First you must deal with the body to bury him. And only afterwards to be koreh the Megillah. כן, אבל אי אפשר לעשות שתיהן, אין שום מצווה דאורייתא נדחה פני מקרא מגילה. Now the Rama says, when is one coming before another? It's when I can do both. I have 2 mitzvot, I can do both, do Megillah first. But if I can do only one, imagine Rafi called me and says, I didn't put on my tefillin today. And I didn't read the Megillah. Which one should you do first? First you should read, meaning he says if you can only do 1 out of 2, you should do the mitzvah of tefillin. Ken, Tov. Our day to read the Megillah is which day? The 14th day of Adar, which this year will be on Sunday. Воскресенье в субботу вечером. Теперь многие митцвы, которые мы исполняем, многие люди в воскресенье работают. Они где-то там, барбекюинг. Но закон говорит, что вот эти митцвы, которые мы исполняем, мы должны делать их именно в воскресенье. Бедным людям давать деньги именно в воскресенье. Sunday. Давать своему другу подарок именно в воскресенье. If you do it Saturday night, you didn't do the mitzvah. If you do it Sunday night, you didn't do the mitzvah. This year it's easy. Sunday everybody's home. You bring 1 basket with you to the synagogue, you give it to your neighbor, you say, here you go, this is for you, you did your mitzvah. No? But it has to be 1 basket with a few items inside of it.
If I go to Dubai, I can give it beforehand.
You can give it to a shaliach. You call Yosef, your son, you tell him, Yosef, this is for you to hold. On the day of Purim, make sure you go to the rabbi's house. I'm kidding. But, nice, no? On the day of Purim, Avi always counts. Baruch Hashem. Avi, God bless you. But we took Avi from the old community, all the way from 150th Street. But be that as it may, I have old tzaddikim from the old minyan. They knock on my door. Ken, many years later, I haven't been there in many years already. They still knock on my door on Purim. We invite them to the table, drink some wine, eat some shashlik, whatever it is. Have a festive time. You're always invited. I'm inviting you now.
The door is always open.
Always open. Ken, the garage. I'm kidding. No. The door is always open. You can come. Now, the mitzvah is in the day. In the day we give tzedakah. In the day we have the meal. In the day we give the mishloach manot. Everything has to be in the day. If you did it at night, lo yatsa.
Even if you didn't hear the Megillah that day. Think you have to hear the Megillah first, or it's fine?
It's appropriate according to Kabbalah to first read Megillah and then to be Mekayim the mitzvot. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen. Amen.